We welcome you to the wonderful city of Chicago, Illinois, home to the Big Ten Media Day 2013, and tomorrow home to the kickoff luncheon. Everyone important in the Big Ten football world is at the Hilton Chicago downtown as we are halfway through our coverage of Big Ten Media Day. Still to come, Bo Pelini, then Mark D'Antonio and Urban Meyer. Your next three head coaches up before we finish the day with Jerry Kill, Bill O'Brien, and the longest tenured coach in the Big Ten, Kirk Ferentz of Iowa. Up next, however, is Bo Pelini and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And if you look at their schedule, Derek, this team could very easily be undefeated as they head into the final month of the regular season.
And obviously, offensively, the talent is there. But looking at their schedule, these are all games that you'd like to think that they got a very good shot of winning. Of course, went out to UCLA and came up short in that game, but start their conference play with Illinois, at Purdue, at Minnesota. All these games, you would like to think Nebraska has the talent to win. But obviously, we heard from Brady Hoke, things get a little bit more interesting when it gets into November, as they do for every Big Ten team. Offensive pieces of the puzzle are there. Defensively, they have to make big-time strides. You look at the losses they had last year, the defense is what let them down.
Yeah, that's certainly true. That's the biggest area they need to improve. And Bo Pelini has a history as being a defensive coordinator, especially at LSU. Very good. Can he turn it around? Here's the Nebraska head coach.
Yeah, it's great to be back here in Chicago. God, it seems like, a long time since last year. A lot of things have happened since then. I know as a program, we're excited about the upcoming season. The kids have had really worked hard. We've had a tremendous off season, starting way back in, after the bowl game in January and then going on through spring practice. And our kids are excited. They've worked their butts off this summer, and camp's right around the corner. We've had like where we are as a football program right now. I'm proud of our football team. I'm proud of the kids in it, how they represent our program, and what we've been able to do not only on the field but more importantly in the classroom and in the community. And there's a lot of positive things going on with our program, and that goes to the character and the type of young men that we have on our football team. And I'm proud of all those guys and what they've done for our football program. And football-wise, we're looking forward to this upcoming season. We know it's going to be a tremendous challenge, as it always is. The interesting schedule for us, the way it sets up. With the extra home game, and we're looking forward to that because we always feel it's an advantage playing at home. And so we're looking forward to all the challenges that are going to come about. But, first and foremost, we got to have a great fall camp. We got to come out and work hard. We got to improve us. We got to work to get better each and every day. We're going to get what we earn. We understand that. We understand that the challenges are going to be there from the first week all right on through, and we're looking forward to everything that lies ahead. It seems to have been like I said, it seems like a long time since spring practice. We moved spring practice up this past year. I think that really worked for us, but boy, it sort of seems like it was a long time ago that we practiced football. So we're looking forward to getting together and getting the football team out on the field and getting ready to go. It's about going to work now. It's about getting out there and improving as a football team, and as they say, try to find our power line, as Amy Ramsey would like to say. But we're looking forward to it, and I'd like to open up for any questions.
We have our first one will be down here front, stage left, and then we have one in the back, all the way in the back on stage right.
Right here, Coach. Thank you. Steve Hellwagon with 24/7 Sports. Just the question I have, the losses that you guys had last year were kind of shock you to the core type losses with what you gave up defensively and these kind of things in those games. You're known as a defensive coach. What are the things that you and your staff did this offseason, the soul searching, the studying, whatever it was, to improve scheme-wise, whatever it needed to be to work on those things that happened in those games?
Oh, it's nothing magical. It's about getting better. It's about tackling better, executing better. It's not it's not a scheme thing. It's not a at the end of the day, you have to execute. And when those things happen, they happen for a reason. We've studied it, we've addressed it. Going to continue to work, and we need to be better more consistently than we did last year. You look at the wins we had and where we'd rank, nationally on total defense within the wins, and then obviously a couple of the losses that we had, especially ones where we gave up a lot of points and a lot of yards, and there's not much. The room for error isn't there anymore. You talk playing these spread out teams, and you play some good football teams, and when some things, you face some adversity early on, you can't let it turn the other way on you. And like I said, we fundamentally, technique-wise and execution-wise, we need to be better. We need to be better consistently, because when you're not, those bad things can happen to you.
Next question in the back on the right.
Bo, why was Thomas Brown dismissed from the team?
It's just a violation of team rules. I don't speak in specifics about it, but I wish him luck at his next school.
Now stage left here all the way in the back.
Bo, as you go through, Rutgers and Maryland will enter the Big Ten next year. You just made that transition. What advice would you have for them as to what to do, what to prepare for going through that transition to Big Ten?
Well, everybody's gonna have their different approach on how they're gonna go through the transition. I think that, the support you have here with the Big Ten Conference and the other member institutions, and for that matter, even the hospitality of the other coaches, and that was tremendous for us. And there's always going to be an adjustment period for teams going into a conference for the first time, and that's going to be there. There's no hiding from that, and it's going to require some extra work in the off season. But it's a transition that you just have to spend a little bit more time familiarizing yourself with teams that you haven't seen for a while, coaches you might not have coached against, and it just it adds little more to your off season to try and become familiar with it before it's staring you in the face, in a game week. And so the more preparation you're able to do in the off season makes that transition that much easier. But it's still going to be difficult. There's one thing about seeing things on film and watching it on your laptop, but there's a whole other thing going through it, and really over time you're going to become more and more familiar, and things become a little bit easier for you. Plus, you have your football players who are also going through a transition time, and they're going into stadiums and they've never been in. So there's a lot to it, but the more preparation they can do in the off season, the better.
Stay in the back of the room all the way stage right over.
Well, how have you already talked to your team about targeting rules? How will you talk to them about the new targeting rule? And what, if any, concerns do you have about the application of that rule?
Well, we talked to them about it in the spring, knowing it was coming. It was right around the corner, and you look for examples, Sam, that that you're going to see. Different things that came up during practice, and said, hey, that's a time where you're probably going to get thrown out of the game. But, the scary thing to me is just what you said. It's the application part of it, and it's going to be pretty subjective, and I don't think it's an easy thing to call. In my opinion, it's going a little bit overboard right now, and some of the some things that I've seen on TV and different examples that they've shown, like even as a coach watching it on TV, I haven't quite agreed with some of the things that they've talked about, but I understand where it's coming from. It's about the safety of the players, and we're all for that. We just have to make sure that we're not messing with the integrity of the game and the sport and how it's supposed to be played.
Go ahead and put your hands up if you have a question. The floor is open for questions. Have one all the way in the back here.
Coach, how excited are you about the possibilities you have on offense this year? I would think you have to be feeling pretty good about that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
What's your thoughts on your offense? I would think you have to be pretty excited about what you bring back and the possibilities on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I really like our offense that's coming back, and obviously it starts with the quarterback position, have a 4-year starter at quarterback and some really dynamic weapons around them. I think we have the opportunity to have probably the best offensive line on paper, or potentially, that we've had since I've been here. Not only the starters, but some of the backups and the depth that we have really across the board. And if we can get a couple young kids, incoming guys that could come in and even provide us with some extra depth at a couple positions, it's a pretty potent, potentially a very potent offense. And I feel really good about it. I feel good about where our guys are scheme-wise and their knowledge of Coach Beck's offense and what he wants to do. And I'm looking forward to our offense. I think they have I wouldn't trade our offense for anybody. I really like what we're doing.
Ready for our next question? Go ahead and raise your hands up real high so we can see them and get the mic over to you. Down here, front left.
What's it like just opening with Illinois 5 straight years for Big Ten play?
Excuse me?
Just opening with Illinois for 5 straight years in Big Ten play, just what's that like?
Well, I actually, until you said that, I wasn't even aware of that, but I knew they were our opener this year, and that's all I'm concerned with right now. And we have a lot of respect for the Illinois program. I obviously, me coming from the Big Ten, and I've played Illinois a lot over the years, from my playing days, and understand the type of tradition they have and the type of potential they have. Coach Beckman and his staff are doing a good job and getting things going in the right direction. And we know that it'll be a challenge for us right off the bat to start Big Ten play.
Moving further down here, stage left.
Yeah, Coach, the Big Ten's going to the 9-game schedule in a few years, and the excitement of that is obviously you're in a separate division than Ohio State, your alma mater, and Michigan, and some of these other schools when that happens. But going to 9 games, you'll be able to play those schools maybe a little bit more regularly, which I think fans would look forward to. Just your thoughts about going to the 9-game schedule.
Well, it's going to be a little bit different, in that, probably the biggest, it creates some different scheduling issues as far as, games we might have had scheduled or planning on scheduling for the future, but, having the 5 and 4 format as far as in your division and out of your division, and home games and not home games, change some of the dynamics. But I think it'll be good. It was inevitable. That's where it was heading with the 9 conference games, with the expansion of the conference, and I think it'll be a good thing in the end. It'll be a little bit of obviously, you're down to 3 out of conference games, which changes your dynamics a little bit. But I think in time, most of the conferences, especially the ones that are expanding past 10, 11 teams, 12 and up, are going to start going to 9 conference games. That's going to, I think, be pretty uniform throughout college football in short order.
We have time for 2 more. We'll start right here on the aisle in the middle on stage right. There's 2 folks back.
Coach, with so much inexperience in the front 7, as a defensive coach, are there unique challenges, any challenges in particular to get those guys ready to play the level of football you expect?
Well, there's challenges with in every situation. Everyone's a little bit different each year, and we're going to have some inexperience, but we have some experienced guys kind of mixed through there and I think it's going to be great competition. We might be fairly inexperienced, especially to start off the year, but I think our depth is going to be there, and there's going to be great competition, which I think is And we're athletic. It's going to be an athletic group and a talented group. And, you know, I'll take that any day of the week. You know, it's just going to require a lot of hard work on our part as coaches, our players' part, and I like the potential of the group. I like the way we finished spring. I like the development we've had, and I'm excited about the incoming guys that are going to add something to the mix. And we're doing a couple different things, you know, and you know, to add to what we've been doing defensively. I think we're going to be a little bit more multiple even than we have been, even though we're going to be younger. And so I'm looking forward to it, and I really like the potential of our group.
Take our final question over here, stage left, all the way in the aisle.
Coach, my question is in regard to Taylor, and we saw a pretty dramatic change from a mechanic standpoint from 11 to 12, and I know he has a coach in California that he's been working with. My question to you is your level of comfort with having external coaches coaching Taylor or any other player, and whether the specialization of some of these coaches is an area that you're going to move to in the future.
Well, Taylor's main coach is Coach Beck. I mean, you know, he's the one who, you know, I mean, and believe me, you know, Taylor, you know, he works with, you know, he has his coach at home that kind of helps him on his breaks, but he's at the university most of the year, and Coach Beck does a great job with them. But you know, it's nice to have some reinforcement, some guys that he works with, you know, away from when he's in Lincoln and when he's at home. And Taylor's made great strides. I think he had a tremendous year last year, and I expect him to. There's still a lot of room for improvement there. He's not even close to what his potential is, and I look forward to what he's going to bring to the table this year. He had an improved spring. And, you know, being a great quarterback comes back to not just the talent thing, it's not just the fundamentals and the technique issues, but it comes down to decision making and efficiency at the quarterback position and making the offense work for you. And I think he's understanding that. I think he grew in that area last year, and there's still a lot more room for growth. And, you know, but like you said, you know, he made some big changes in his throwing motion and really his footwork and his shoulder angle. And once he got that corrected, you know, he has the arm strength. He can make any throw there is, and he has tremendous talent. He just needed to refine some things, and he's got to continue to work on that because it's the little things that allow you to have success.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you.
10 wins for the Nebraska Cornhuskers last year, and as you just heard him talking about, Taylor Martinez is back with some offensive weapons all around him. But as you were saying, Derek, that defense has to be better than it was last year. They gave up 27 points a game last year on defense. 8 Big Ten teams gave up more than that.